Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another ReeK reaction. I didn't anticipate getting more from ReeK, but apparently there's more. Specifically from Hardcore Utopia, which I've already heard stuff from, but this is Utopia Overture, which I assume is the overture for the whole album. I don't exactly know how they do that or how these are placed in the album, but just based off of name, that would kind of make sense. There's no other context to go off of for this one. It is just the song and the fact that it's Utopia Overture, so I guess without further ado, let's go! I really enjoyed the last ReeK song I heard, so I'm excited to hear another one. It's been a while. Ooh. All right, starting out with some ooh, wait a minute. I was gonna say starting out with some story, but ooh. Is ReeK trying to take me to church right now with those chords? Ooh. Wait a second. Where is ReeK going? There's some amazing groundwork being laid out right now. And I don't know if that's what the song is gonna sound like. Beautiful. All of that chaos turned into that beautiful chord. So this is like a comprehensive story. Hello, vocals.
A gentle breeze blowing through my hair.
Really good voice, really powerful.
From the mountain, I've started telling to myself that I've been waiting far too long.
Okay.
For a place that I can call home.
I'm starting to get giddy.
And I waited for so long. For a place I call my own. My utopia in my mind.
Ha. Ooh. Ooh. Beautiful distortion work. Ooh. Oh. A little bit of metal. Go ahead and throw that in there. Talk about hardcore.
Continuing to age on, and the earth is spinning faster than before.
Okay.
My head, there is a safe space now where I can feel anything that I want.
Jesus Christ, ReeK, calm down. This is beautiful. Ooh. Heavy, like peaked and side change. Like an overdrive to the max on that. D&B break. It's a little bit of everything. Okay. ReeK. ReeK is really quickly climbing up on my list of amazing producers. beautiful weaving of everything that we just heard. It was it's legitimately beautiful. How much is in here? I've heard like at least probably 10 or 15 different genres or references to other musicians and their sounds already. And there's the hard style. And then throwing stuff like this in here. Oh. We get to hear that again? Nah. That was an amazing... The string bends in there. The dare, like that was just perfect. An ideal choice for that spot. There's just so much in here.
Because life still does this thing where you can't help but stare. So lay me down so I can rest and put a needle in my arm.
And just to think we're barely halfway through this, most likely. This is probably the halfway point, I would figure.
I tried to let go of it all because I finally found the place that's made for me.
Why are we getting like a Disney musical in here too? Like, again, all these genres. All of these references. Ooh. Getting back into it. Now, where are we going next? That's my only question. That's where. See, this is kind of the sound I think of when I hear the word hardcore, just because it's probably the most standard option. Beautiful solo. It hasn't stopped messing around yet. This is so many different ideas in one. And to blend them all together so well, it feels so natural. How? How do you do that? Go for the halftime. Woo! That was wild. Ah. Gorgeous. Otherworldly.
But as this artificial world has sprung to life, now I just want to be
Oh, man.
and stay delusional forever.
You know, it's something when I have to take an actual breath while listening. Building up with an orchestration now. Big finish. Spread that chord wide open. Keep going. And the dissonance to match it, too. Full resolution? Hell yeah, dude. God damn. The amount of everything in that song. So out of curiosity, I looked up the track list for this album, and apparently this is the last one. So Overture is a little bit of a misnomer here, but that's kind of neat too, because now I'm wondering, is this an amalgamation of all the other songs on the album? Like, it could very well be its own thing. I haven't heard most of the rest of the album, and I think the one other song I've heard from this album, it was like a month ago that I recorded that, so there's no way I'm going to remember it that specifically. But I would not be surprised if that's what this is. As a misnomer, that would kind of make sense. And they basically would give all of their songs to ReeK, and then ReeK would just be like, all right, and then stitched them all together. And there is definitely an innate musicality to that. You have to be extremely skilled at production to be able to stitch a bunch of sounds like that together, no matter what the situation is here. Whether or not it's ReeK's doing 100%, or if it's a bunch of other stuff from other artists, the ability to take all of that and make sense of it, make its own story out of it, and feel like it's truly bringing you through all of these movements is absolutely gorgeous. He didn't just take a bunch of songs, he took a bunch of songs and made them into a story, and that is brilliant. That is so high above me on skill level, I don't even know where to begin. But going in with the assumption that this is all ReeK and all the stuff in here is just ReeK's work, whoa! Holy shit! Like, every genre was touched on here. We had dubstep, we had complextro stuff, which I would also classify this whole thing at that point. We had orchestral, we had vocal, we had pop, we had pretty much every possible subgenre of EDM you could ask for was in this one track. And it was so well composed. It was so well put together. Not a single time through this, except for that one spot where it was like slowing down a little bit, did I know where I was in the timeline. I was just enjoying it. I was listening so intently. I could have sat here for another 10 minutes listening to that. I could have easily done that. This is an amazing handling, an amazing balance of all of these genres, being able to do all of this all in one track. And I see why it's 10 minutes long, because it felt like a movie. You have to have some runtime to be able to get through all of this and feel everything that ReeK was trying to get you to feel. On the assumption that this is a collaborative effort with all the other people and all the other songs on the album, or maybe just other works made before this, and this is supposed to be some sort of a showcase, that again, also brilliant, because if that's the case, then you have to be good enough at every genre in order to do this, which means either way, ReeK has phenomenal compositional awareness and the ability to stitch all that together, because in that case, you don't get to choose what you're making the song out of, and that's insane too. So you get to hear a bunch of random stuff and then have to figure out what parts make sense where to keep the momentum of the song moving forward all the way to the end, and then to end it with that orchestral piece, which must have been custom, because Jesus Christ, the spread of that couldn't have been done by anyone else, I don't think, and just covering pretty much the entire keyboard, every note. It had dissonance in there, it had whole chords, it had just so much crunchiness, and it never felt like it wasn't rising. It never once went down, it never shifted, it kept going up, no matter what notes were being used. It basically felt like when you were a kid, and I'm sure this is mostly a universal experience, kind of walking up to a keyboard or a piano somewhere in a public area, and just like laying your hand on it just to see what happens, and it always sounds kind of cool. You know, this is like the THX drop. It had everything in there, and that amazing resolution at the end, I cannot get over it. All the vocal stuff in there as well, just the little bits to kind of remind you that this is a story and they're telling you something and they're keeping you in your chair with that. Like every single time you're listening and you're like, whoa, there's so much happening, then basically that vocalist came back in here like, hey, don't forget. It was so beautiful. Oh man. Again, I said this during the reaction, but ReeK is climbing up there real quick with work like this. Like, I have a very, very big list of composers and producers that I have major respect for and that I love the work of pretty much without any other merit. Like, they are just great and I love their work. It is just so good. ReeK is getting up there, and I've only heard like 2 songs from ReeK, but each one I've heard have been such majestic examples of athletic skill in the music ability. Like, just, I cannot get over how good ReeK is. It's to the point, like, while talking to you about this and sharing my opinions, I'm getting warm because I'm that excited. I mean, it is also fairly hot in my room right now, but I am starting to get moist with sweat because I am that excited about ReeK as a composer and about their potential in the field going forward, who they could be, what they could accomplish with this level of awareness in composition is just so insane to me. They could be so much more than they are, and I don't know who ReeK is. It's possible that they have an entire separate life where they're also composing for films and shit and have just millions of dollars because they're that good. Because if ReeK isn't making bank right now with talent like this, the world should just blow up. You know, somebody with this much skill not being recognized for it, the world shouldn't exist at that point. So I'm hoping that ReeK has more to their story than I'm aware of. It's not like I've looked up ReeK, but what I've heard, the amount of skill that I have heard come out of this one person, insane. Absolutely nonsensical levels of talent here. I am actually extremely jealous, and I'm not even a composer. But I will stop yapping because I've been going off about this for a while, and this video is already going to be fairly long due to the runtime anyway, so thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you to Gub for putting this into the queue and allowing me to listen to another phenomenal song from ReeK. I'm sure there may be more in the future, but for now, it's just been the few that I've heard, and I'm excited to hear more maybe as we go on. And if you want to request anything and guarantee that I listen to it just like this, you can go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There's a tier that will force me to listen to whatever you want me to listen to. You can pick it, you can send it to me, and I have to listen to it. It's a guaranteed request no matter what genre it is, who it's by, anything. It can be stupid, it can be funny, it can be phenomenal, it can be absolute trash. I do not care. That's why it's a guaranteed request. But otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!